Morning everyone, and welcome to Let's Shop Cake Live with me, Tracey Mann. So I'm here this morning, Saturday morning, 10 o'clock, and I'm going to be live for a couple of hours showing you some cake decorating ideas for Easter. So today we're going to be making an Easter treat box, so that's what we're going to be working towards throughout this couple of hours. And I'm going to show you some of the new classes that we've got coming up, also some new products as well. Not too many new products today, so you're okay. Hopefully you've got some of them already, so you'll be able to see a different way of doing things. However, if of course you want to buy some of the products, then the address is at the bottom of the screen there, which is letsshopcakelive.co.uk, and you will find all of our products and bits and pieces on there as well. If you want to follow us, then do please follow us on YouTube. We have at Tracey Mann Cakes. We are also streaming live out of YouTube at the moment, so if you are having any difficulties with Facebook, you can always go across to YouTube and watch us from there as well. Likewise, we are also on Facebook and also on Instagram, all under the same name. There we go, at Tracey Mann Cakes. That's where you'll find me if you want to follow any of our work and bits and pieces that we do. So a few of you logging in, good morning. Do feel free to comment during the live. If you want to ask any questions, then I will do all I can to try and see the questions to start with, because normally I'm wrapped up in doing things, or I will answer them at a later time. So do feel free to ask questions during the live if you want to know anything about anything we're doing particularly. But thank you very much for joining me. As I say, we are coming live roughly every 2 weeks at the moment, rather than every week, so that we can bring you lots of new and different ideas. And today, as with always, we have got lots of other ideas for you as well. So hopefully you'll find it of huge benefit this morning to tune in, or if not, you can always watch it on catch up. So if you can't manage to stay for the whole 2 hours, once this is finished, you will be able to go back and watch this on YouTube or also on Facebook as well. So there's lots of different options for you, not just signing in at 10 o'clock. Also remember as well, I keep putting up event posts. So if you see an event post go up for Let's Shop Cake Live, if you click that you're interested or that you're going, you will get a reminder. That's very helpful for a lot of people. So if you do see that coming up and you want to be reminded that I'm live at 10 o'clock, if you click either of those two, then Facebook will send you a reminder, which is very helpful. So just remember that when you see those posts coming up. So I keep putting them up there, and you'll see them appear on my Instagram story, and you'll also see them appear on my Facebook pages as well. So lots of different ways of finding out what's going on. You're also welcome to sign up for my newsletter, which is also on Tracey's Cakes, so traceyscakes.co.uk. Go into the newsletter section and you will get some newsletters as well. Not lots of newsletters, I just hasten to add. It's normally when I remember. You might get a phase of them. You might get 2 in a week and then nothing for a month. So it's a bit like that. But they're there, and I do use them every so often. So if you do want to catch up with further information there, you can. So we're going to start with my cake school. So we're going to switch over to this address. So this is my cake school, my online cake school, my beloved online cake school, and talk about the new class that's out today. So we have a brand new class out today. Let me bring it up on the screen. There it is. It is one of these cartoon cakes. So this class is now available. So the Gold members and the Sugarcraft members had this yesterday put into their Teachable account. So that's where they log in to find all their classes. So yesterday they had access to the class. For everybody else who would like to either buy the class is £20 to buy. It is online, so you'll be able to follow it whenever you want. It's a pre-recorded class. If you buy it for £20, you'll get to keep it, so you can watch it as many times as you like, or you can sign up as a monthly member, and that gives you access to more classes, but obviously you can only see those classes whilst you're still paying your membership. Now this one is part of Sugarcraft membership, which includes everything except cupcake bouquets and cake painting. So there's lots of things like this cake, for example, also royal icing, which I'm going to show you in a minute, because we've got another cake that's gone out this week that's highlights the royal icing, so we'll have a look at that in a second. It also includes wedding cakes, and it includes the semi-naked cakes as well, beginners airbrushing and chocolate paste. So there is a lot of information on Sugarcraft. Gold membership, of course, includes everything, and that also includes cupcake bouquets as well. So this class is out today. We are starting to discuss on my gold membership group page what colours they think this would work well with. So that's something really to think about. Starting to think about some colour combinations, what would look nice, and we're waiting to see now what they're going to come up with. So hopefully we should see some really nice, interesting designs coming out with this one. And I've got a few little techniques up my sleeve as ever. So I do have a different way of doing the drip that I've not seen anybody else do, and I don't really know why I do it that way, but I do. So if anybody would like to have a look at that class, as I say, there is lots and lots of new things to learn on there as well. Right back to the beginning, so in terms of ganaching your cake, covering your cake, dyeing your paste, putting it over, so covering your cake. So it's quite nice actually, even if you just want to do it as a beginner's class, you can certainly get a lot of basic skills out of this one class. So it's a really nice cake to do, very on trend at the moment, very fashionable. But while I was talking about that, I mentioned royal icing, and I'm going to show you the side view of a cake that we've got coming out today. So it's already left here. So this is a royalised cake. Now I put a royalised cake up a few weeks ago that I did for another event, and everyone went mad. Royal icing, it's so wonderful. It is. It's absolutely wonderful to do. I absolutely love doing this, and we do have a whole course on this, which is an extensive course on how to use and pipe and make royal icing. And you'll see here in this picture here a nice close-up of the side view of this cake, and I decided this time randomly to pipe a little heart within the royal icing, and actually I was really pleased with how this came out. I thought it was a little bit different. It just put a very slight nod to something being a little bit more modern, but actually still maintaining that lovely royal icing feel about it. So if royal icing is something you'd really like to have a go at, I do have the course to do royal icing online with a lovely certificate at the end, and we're going to have a look at certificates shortly, which you can earn towards getting that royal icing certificate. So if you fancy having a go, then do please have a look at the cake school. Again, you can get royal icing through the Sugarcraft membership or also through gold membership as well. So lots going on there. Now our next cupcake bouquet, because we're about to have another cupcake bouquet class. Now I'm frantically looking at it through my pictures and I think I've deleted it. That sounds about right for me. Oh my goodness me, is a David Austin rose? Yes, I have. So I've deleted that, so that's very helpful, isn't it? So our next class, which I'll show you in a picture or when I put it on Let's Shop Cake Live Facebook page, is the David Austin Rose class. So again, a full bouquet of which you will be able to have a go at making this great big bouquet with lots of different colours. I've had a look at my cupcake bouquets yesterday. There's a bit of a pink theme running. I do promise you that is going to change. So I looked yesterday and went, oh yeah, that's pink, that's pink, that's pink, with all different shades of pink and all different flowers. So that's allowed. But we have got a cactus cupcake bouquet coming. We've also got a baby shower cupcake bouquet coming, a big 31. So there are lots and lots of classes that are being added. In fact, I looked at my schedule yesterday and we're going to be having a new class every 2 weeks at the moment. So there are an awful lot of classes coming, and they are coming very, very quickly. So if you do want to get involved in the school, there is a lot of information coming out. I've stopped answering questions online about people. I put things up about cupcake bouquets and people say, what nozzle is that? I'm not answering those questions anymore because that's for my students. As you can understand, I need to protect my course material as well. So if you do want to get involved in learning all about cupcake bouquets, then come and join us, because it is a really lovely environment. We've got some really lovely gold members on here that I know are in already, and lots of other members as well. So, and cake painting, we've got lots and lots of cake painting projects coming this year. I'm going to show you some of the certificates because we're about to start doing certificates now, and they arrived from the printer yesterday. So I'm going to show you a quick little scan of what they can get up to. So we've already had the beginner's cocoa butter painting certificate, which of course anyone can get by completing the course. Let me show you this one. So this is the Swiss meringue buttercream certificate, which we'll be putting up criteria for that shortly, so they know how to get this one. Again, these courses are on the Sugarcraft membership. Then there's this one, which is scenery painting. So we have got a scenery painting certificate that's coming. They will need to complete 3 scenes in order to be able to get this certificate. So this will be one to work towards. So we like to have things that we can work towards rather than just getting them by doing one cake. That's cheating. The floral beginners cake painting course certificate as well. 2 ladies have already completed this course, and this is a big course. Now we've been working towards it, or we've started to work towards it by doing this cake between now and the 8th of April. We've been having a go at this, so some of the ladies are already working towards that. So there are movements there in terms of heading towards that particular certificate. And we'll just do one every, I don't know, 8 weeks or so. So eventually we will get there and you will be able to see how it's going. I'm glad to say someone's loving the scenery. My gold members are getting an extra live this week. So on Tuesday, if you are a gold member and you've not been on your group recently, we are doing an extra live on Tuesday evening at 6:30 for gold members only. We're going to look at trees. We're going to have a little talk about trees, because trees have turned out to be a little bit traumatic. So we're going to be looking at some a bit more in depth at tree painting. So that's some of the benefits you get of being a gold member. You do get extra lives with me as well. So we're going to have a little look at that and see if we can sort of master some of the difficulties that have been coming up with that. Cats and dogs. So we've also got a cats and dogs class as well. And again, we've been painting the spaniel. So the black and white spaniel we've been doing, and that one has been something that will be used to work towards this cats and dogs painting course certificate. So lots and lots of things that we can do very carefully. I'm just reading this comment, but you don't have to do everything on a cake, no, but you will on some of them. So for example, the beginner's floral, you will need to do some of this onto a cake, otherwise it doesn't make any sense. And you would certainly need to be doing Swiss meringue buttercream onto a cake, otherwise that would be a total mess. But for example, if you want to do scenery and you want to paint it onto a board, then that is acceptable and you are perfectly allowed to do that as well. So we're going to be discussing trees for the gold members Tuesday night, 6:30 this week. We're going to just run through some of the issues that we've had with it and just have a little think about trees. That sounds like quite sad, doesn't it, really? But we're going to have a little think about trees and we're going to get those all going. So we are a school, but we are also working towards certificates. So we like to keep everyone motivated. There are more certificates on top of this. There's the beginner's cocoa butter painting certificate and royal icing as well. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to set goals with the lots of people painting at the same time, so that we're all understanding and learning all the problems that can come up. Because if you're all painting the same class, then you'll find, oh, I found that bit difficult. Yes, I found that bit difficult. For example, like we're having with scenery at the moment. So with scenery at the moment, I am, as I say, about to do a live on trees, because trees has proved to be a tiny bit traumatic, and we're going to just go through that this week. So from that point of view, so I'm just moving these out of the way, because once I start with buttercream and things, it starts getting messy. So that means that you can, it helps you to support, they get lots of support from each other. So being within that group is really good. And some of them are also going, oh, I must get round to doing it. And you see, I hold them to account then at that point and say, right, come on then, what are you doing and when you're doing it? I'm right behind you, you know, everybody. So yes, if you do want to join the cake school, do please feel free to join it. There's so much stuff coming this year. We're going to be painting horses. We're going to be painting guinea pigs. We're going to be painting, oh, I've got so much stuff coming up. I've got a massive schedule over there, all of which most of it is already done, which is absolutely lovely. We've got an elephant coming. We have got beach scene to be painted. Don't forget, spring is coming. Spring is sprung, so we can now start doing things like this. Can start painting our lovely rabbit, who's just the most gorgeous one ever, and he is on springtime, so you'll find him on the springtime course as well. So that's the springtime cake painting course. If cake painting's all you're interested in, you can join as a silver member, and then you can just paint, and you don't have to get involved in cupcake bouquets and all these other bits and pieces. But if you do want to have a go at doing something like this, this is part of springtime course. It's just the most loveliest rabbit ever. I'm just going to put it right up close so you can have a little look at it, because it's so lovely. And I'm slightly obsessed with tulips as well. I'm going to get Kelly to take me to Kugenhof next year. She doesn't know that yet, but I am. Right, okay, so that's the shopping, that's the classes this week, if I covered everything. So the new cartoon cake is out today. So if you do want to have a go at that one, it's £20 to join it, or you can join as a Sugarcraft or Gold member to get access to that. Sugarcraft, by the way, is £6.95 a month, and Gold membership is £12.50. £12.50 gets you access to absolutely everything, and also access to a Facebook group, which means you can ask any questions you like. Anybody who has any questions that's a Gold member specifically, please post them on those pages because it's easier for me to answer in there. We've also got a 2-tier floral buttercream class coming. Yes, I forgot about this one. This one is also coming out in April. So this one is another one for April. We've got our David Austin Rose, of which I managed to delete, and this one here. So we have got a 2-tier cake coming. Using buttercream and also a combination of buttercream and sugar paste for this. So this class will also be coming out in April. So if anybody is finding it sort of like, how do I stack a 2-tier cake, that's going to be answered in this one. And you've also got how to pipe lots of different buttercream flowers in order to make this cake. So this one comes out at the end of April, I think. So it's the David Austin Rose Cupcake Bouquet first, and then we've got this one later on in the month before we then move on to goodness knows what else, because I've got a full schedule fully booked. So lots and lots of things going on. So again, if you want to join the classes, there you go. It is a very, very pretty cake to do this one. And just think of the possibilities with this. I've done this in shades of purple and lilac. Why don't you do it in shades of pink? Why don't you do it in shades of purple and yellow, red and pink? There's so many different things that you can do with this class. So you can buy it outright, the same as you can do with all the other classes, or it is included in one of the memberships. I think it's golden. I think it was Gold and Sugarcraft. I'll have to check, but it's on one of them anyway. You'll see it. Here, there you go. It's coming out. So that we go. So the David Austin Rose class is out on the 7th of April. I'm just reading that. David Austin need it for the 1st. Oh dear. It's coming out on the 7th. Contact me and I'll have a word, see what I can sort out for you. I don't know if it's ready or not. This is the thing. It's all down to the editing really, or the editor. I wonder who that is. It might be me. You know what I'm like. There we go. Right. So, yeah, that I was just reading there. Someone else has written something about trying to work out good colour combinations. You can take whatever ideas you want from me. If I've put it out there and you like the colour of it, you can do that. I don't mind at all. Purple and yellow. What did I do this week? Lemon and pink. That was really nice. What was the other one I did? Like a peachy colour one, actually, with a soft green. That looked really nice. You can do whatever you like. I absolutely don't mind. So yes, go ahead. If they're on the cake school, then yes, by all means, copy them. I don't mind at all. That's absolutely fine. Just if you do put anything out there, just let people know where you've learned them, because it then happens to give us some more students to keep everything going and firing along. And that's what we want, really. So building up our lovely cake community. We are going to open shortly, I think I may have done it actually already, a separate Facebook group for every student. Now they're going to get an email this week, and this is for all students. So Gold members have got their own Facebook group. There is going to be a new Facebook group called Tracey Mann Cake School, and that will be solely on classes, nothing else. It will all be on classes. So it will be about new classes coming, different pictures of projects and things that are coming along. So completely about classes and nothing else. So if you search on Facebook for Tracey Mann Cake School, you will be able to find it. If not, and you are already a student, you will get an email about it this week, and it will be student based and nothing else. So you'll see that coming up soon. So lots and lots of different things coming up. So there we go. Right, okay, so let's go back to Let's Shop Cake Live. There we go. Right, let's have a look at the lovely Patchwork Cutters. So last time I was on, I said to you all that I showed you the teddy plaque, didn't I? There we go. I showed you the teddy black and I said I was going to paint it on Patchwork Cutters. Well, I've done that now, so you can have a little look at that. So that's what it came out like. Now, I've actually done this as a YouTube video as well, so if you do want to go and watch it, it is on YouTube now. So I'm just lighting the candle next to me so I don't forget. So I've got to find a thing that actually got some gas in it. So yeah, this is actually available now if you want to go ahead and watch it. I think it came out really well. Keep the colours nice and soft. This time I did a pink and I did a gold and I just did a nice soft green, and I think that came out really well. And you can see the lovely dotting tool is in there. You can't resist a good old dotting tool there. There we go. So that is called the Teddy Plaque Cutter. Now I'm going to do a little paint this morning. I'm going to do a couple of little paints this morning. I've just got to find. I've got to light it with matches today. Oh no, there's my new one. I knew I bought one. I don't know how it works though. Does that work like that? Oh, there we go. Right, so I'm just lighting my cocoa butter thing, so I'll just get that lit. So we've got lots of cocoa butter, patchwork cutters in at the moment. Now we looked at Teddy Bear's Picnic mixed with balloons last time I was on, which resulted in this. So there we go. This is what we looked at last time. So that one was part of Teddy Bear's Picnic, which is this one here, this little chap here. So pop that on there like so. And then balloons, which is this one, which is a separate one, which I then popped in his hand and put on there like that. So there we go. So what I thought I'd do today is I'm going back to Teddy Bear's Picnic, and I've picked out the little bear. I've made a plaque. I've got to find it. There it is. It's a little tiny plaque, and I thought, well, I'll just show you how to paint this little bear here, because he's very sweet. There you go. So he's quite big. He's bigger actually than I thought he was. So that's part of that particular plaque for that one. So that's not very big, that plaque. It's only 4 inches. Most of the plaques I use, that's a 7, that's a 6. So I tend to use different ones. I think this is a 6. Yeah, that's a 7. Okay, so just some different sizes to do. And you can make these up then, and then you can put them on top of cakes. So they're nice and easy to do. You can just put them in a box, put some kitchen roll over the top or some parchment paper. Just make sure sugar paste is dry. Stack them up and they keep forever. I've got loads of them actually from various ones I've done over the years. But we're going to look at this one now. We're just going to do a little paint today. We'll just do our little Teddy. There he is. So I've got my paint palette coming in here. Let me move that round that way. So while that's melting, so under here, for those of you that don't know, this is cocoa butter painting setup. So there we go. We've got a tea light under there and the metal paint palette is sitting on top of there. The cocoa butter that's in there is starting to melt, and that's what we're going to mix with dusting colours, which you can see I've already been doing today. And we're going to make our paint that way. So dusting colours, it has to be dusting colours. You can't do this with liquid or paste or anything else. It must be dusting colours. We have lots of questions about, can they be luster colours? Yes, they can. Can they be matte colours? Yes, they can, but they must be dusting colours. And the dusting colours, they come in little tiny tubes. They're ever such good value for money. They last for ages. I'm going to show gooseberry green because that will send shivers down the spine of my tree painters on gold class at the moment. But that's what they do, and there we go. So that's what you need. I just use sugar flare colours, and we have a cocoa butter painting kit which consists of 11 different colours, which is a really good place to start. It's got your 4 paint brushes, because all the paint brushes we use are numbered. So if I show you on here all our paint brushes, although these are quite worn out, you see, because I've been gripping onto them for dear life, I think. So there's a 0, 1 and 2. Obviously not done as much painting with number 1 as I have done with number 2. Although I'm going to use these, well, actually I'll probably use all 3, but anyway, so I've got these ones here. When I teach my classes, it really helps me to be able to say, and now use paintbrush number 1 and paintbrush number 2, and then I know you've got the right paintbrush in your hands. Now that's something we didn't do right at the start of beginning to teach cake painting, but it is something that we do now all the time. So it's something that's grown with us. It's just a way of helping you to identify what you're doing. So I've obviously been doing something in gold, so I'm just going to get that out. So we'll just do a nice, what should we do? A nice traditional colour bear, shall we? So we'll just grab our paintbrush, dip it in there, grab some brown, and then we'll pick up some white, like so. Just pale it down a bit. Don't make it too dark too quickly. So if you were doing this for a christening or something, you could paint it any colour you like. Perhaps you could do like a lemon colour or pink colour, or it doesn't really matter, does it? Anything really. But it's quite a nice quick one to do. So I tell you what else it'd be good, like a Care Bear. You know what I mean by that? It's for those of you of the 1970s. Will know what I mean, or 80s, I think. A Care Bear would be nice. You could put a nice little heart on his tummy. There's all sorts of things you could do with this. So I've isolated him from the picnic set. Now The Teddy Bears Picnic set also has a cup of tea and a teapot in there, because I was looking at that earlier today and I quite fancied having a go with that. You can also build a cake. It's got a stack of cupcakes. And there's there's 3 bears, there's 2 teddies and a panda in there, so you get 3 different bears in there. Now Marion sent me a set, but I think she sent me one with 2 pandas in it because I don't seem to have the other bear. So I've just picked on the one that I have got. So he's covering quite well already. I'm just going to paint straight over his eyes. I'm not going to worry about that. So we don't make him too dark. We'll keep him quite light. Notice as well I'm painting on a blue background, so I will be able to see my paint a bit clearer rather than trying to have it. There we go, let's go around that way. Rather than trying to have it too dark. I'm going to just leave his nose out for the minute, so I'm going to come back and paint that a different colour. I have found with the indents on Patchwork Cutters that the 0 brush is perfect size for it. If you're trying to put any other size brush down into those gaps, you're going to find that it won't work. So you do need to make sure you've got the right brushes for the job. Otherwise, you're going to find that's going to be a bit of a struggle for you. So just paint that over like so. So I'm just going to paint over the whole thing. And you'll just see how quickly it comes together. So if you're sort of hovering and debating, do I want to start cake painting? Will I be able to do it? This is a good step towards it. Lots of people have been buying Patchwork Cutters and having a go at the painting and then realising actually how much fun it is and then going on from there. So if you want to have a go and you're feeling a bit cautious about the whole thing, then get yourself a kit, get yourself a cocoa butter painting kit. You won't need anything else. You might need the odd colour here and there, but I can guarantee you it's highly unlikely you'll need to buy any more brushes in case, like me, you lose them. And you probably won't. You probably need to buy more white and more black colouring. That's about it. Everything else is just, you might find a few extra colours here and there, but the majority of my cake painters will agree with me that you'll find that it is just possible just to use the kit. And if you are attempting something like the beginner's cocoa butter painting course, then everything you need is inside of that kit, so you'll find you won't need to do anything else. I'm just leaving the pads like so. Don't know why, but I am. So I haven't decided what to do with them yet. I'll make that up as I go along. Might give them some gold ones maybe, I don't know. We'll see how we go. I'd say pink ones, but Kelly will, although she's not, I don't think she's watching today. She'll tell me off. She's a lot of pink going on. So there you go. He's ever so quick to paint, not difficult at all. I'm going to just drop the camera down a bit further so you can see a little bit more detail. There we go. I have actually tightened up my camera frame because I think last time I did this, the whole thing came crashing down near enough. Right, let's make this a bit darker. We should have a bit more brown in there maybe. And then we'll keep him a traditional teddy today. And we'll put a bit of brown in there and in there as well. And I suppose the inclination to do black stitching is probably definitely don't, because if you start doing black stitching on this, it's going to be too harsh. It's going to really stand out. So stick to doing brown, because I think that will look really nice. I'll do his nose. Otherwise you're going to have a blue nose and that's not going to look very nice. So I'm painting with paintbrush 2 at the moment. I'm just about managing to get into the detail, but if I want to go kind of any further than that, I will need to change my brush to make sure it's a little bit more tricky. Okay, let me find another brush. No, that's a dotting tool, of course it is, because that's not what I want at all. Right, what's that one? Paintbrush 1. I had about 5 paintbrush 3s the other week and they were everywhere. No, that's also paintbrush 1. Okay, they've morphed over the weekend. There we go, another paintbrush 3. Right, so I'll just give him a bit of colour there. Stick that under there. Like so. And we'll just put a bit of extra colour in his ears. Just up there maybe, make those a bit darker. Just the inside of his ear maybe. Something like that. Right, we will give him black eyes. Okay, yeah, maybe we will. We'll mix up a little bit of black just so he can have some darker eyes, otherwise we might not be able to see them. So just mix a little bit up there, although having said that, what I think I will do, let's find that. Let's grab, oh, where's our paintbrush zero? Is that paintbrush zero? Yes, it is. Okay. Tiny bit more, it's gone a bit watery, put too much cocoa butter in. Okay, I'll just do his eyes in there, so that should. So I need magnifying glasses, I think. There we go, just about done it. Trying to shake as well. Okay, got his eyes in. And I think we'll also do his mouth with a little bit of black. Just his mouth and his eyes, and then we'll revert back to the brown in a minute. We'll see what it's like, because if it's not what we want, we can always go over it in black, can't we? There you go. So we'll just take a little bit more brown, make that really dark now. So full strength brown maybe, with a zero brush. And then we'll just do his stitching lines. To get some actual cocoa butter on my brush, there we go. So he's nice and quick to do, he's not difficult particularly. You could add in your own lines if you want to, so if you feel that you want to put lines in different places, you can. But if you just want to keep it simple and you just don't want to make it too complicated for yourself, then that's what you need to do. So that's nice and easy, isn't it? And then what we'll do is we'll just grab a bit of white, tiny bit of black, so make up a little bit of a grey colour. Won't make anything too complicated. Right, and then we'll just stick a little bit down here, across the bottom here. We'll just kind of cast a shadow so he doesn't look like he's floating in the air. There we go. Should make sure it's going right. Make it a little bit darker, a little bit darker. Oop, got the brush round upside down. There we go. Brushes that too, okay. There we go. And then if you want to spend more time doing some of the other detail on here, for example, you've got like little lines that come down here, you can always take your brush and just run them down this part of the bear, like so. It's about then picking up detail, maybe splitting his arms up from the body, just by doing this, that kind of thing, maybe around his ears as well. Can have a little play around with it. And then you can start going on all sorts of things. You can put like little tiny heart sprinkles into his paws, or you can paint them. It's up to you. So there's lots of different things that you can do to Patchwork Cutters. You are not just stuck with having it as is what is shown on the packaging. So if you want to do different things with it, then it's possible. I think he's really sweet, actually. I've also got the elephant next to me, which I have shown a few times. There it is. So you can get a bit more of a sort of an idea of size. The teddy, let's get my ruler out. The teddy is 3 inches in height. The elephant is he 1.5? Yeah, he's 1.5. So there's quite a size difference between the two there. But they do make really nice cake toppers. So if you wanted to make a little tiny cake for somebody, you know, christening, birthday, happy birthday, that kind of thing, they are really sweet little ones to do. So we do have this one in stock, which is Teddy Bear's Picnic. I also think that inside that one there's a teapot and there's a little cup. You could always paint those up, do a bit of a sort of Cath Kitsany type paint on those, or you can make the scene that Marion's put on there. She's made a nice picnic scene, which I'll bring here and show you. There is also a little bow as well, so if you wanted to put the little bow in place on the teddy, you can cut that out and put it on. Or if you're like me and you prefer something like this, which is an FPC bow mold, you'll find that on our site as well, and you will be able to use that, which is a really nice one to use. Ever so quick. I have shown this many times, but I will show you again just quickly. I'm just trying to work out what colour bow you should have. What colour bow should you have? Oh, I'm going to give you a... what should we give you? I've got various colours mixed up here, so you're kind of limited to what I've got. There's no extra mixing going on here. So yeah, if you wanted to use something like this, they've got lots of big or small bows here, depending on how much you want to put on there. Ideally do this with modelling paste, something like Saraceno, rather than trying to do it with sugar paste. I use sugar paste that's called Massaccino, which has got quite a lot of gum in it, so it's quite robust and it does lots of jobs that perhaps other sugar paste won't do. Renshaw's modelling paste is also available. That's another thing you can use, but if I've got to use a modelling paste, I'll probably end up using Saraceno because I've just got used to it. It's one of these things that I've just adapted to. So you've got a nice little bow there, and you can pop that on there like that. If you think, oh, that bow's a bit too big, you can always change it. You can scale it down a bit with this mould. And there's a little tiny bow there, so you can just pop that in there. I need to put a bit more icing sugar on there. It's a bit sticky because I only mixed the colours in before I went live, about 5 minutes before I went live, so it's not had a lot of time to dry out yet. So I'm going to put a little bit of extra icing sugar in there, and then you can just pop that into there. If you find that, now she says, where are we? Let's try and grab a plastic scraper. There we go. Might hear an avalanche in the background in a minute when my drawer empties itself. So I pulled it out too far. So yeah, you can pop that in there like so. If you can get a little one, let's bring that out. I love this mould because it has so many different bow options. If bow options is a thing you need, which often it is, and just put a little bit of water on there and then take our bow. There we go, and pop it on like that. Quite like the 3D element of that, really. So there you go. The bow mould, I think, is really nice. So there you go. And you can always vary it and you can paint it. So if you wanted to give them a red bow tie, you could, or a blue one. Lots of different things you can do there. But that is part of that set. So that's part of Teddy Bear's Picnic, not Teddy Plaque. Don't get confused just because they've got the Teddy word in it. They are two different things, okay? This is Teddy Plaque. So this is all together, whereas this one is in lots of different pieces. So just be really careful when you're ordering them that you don't end up with the wrong one. Nobody's managed it yet, probably because I go on about it quite a lot, but just be careful what you're doing when it comes to ordering some of these patchwork cutters, because they have got quite similar names. That's just to keep us all on our toes, really. That's just Marion making sure we're paying attention. Right, okay, so we've done that. We're now going to have a look at we're going to have a go at some treat box stuff. So we're going to have a look at some of the cutters and things that I've got in the past. So I'm going to bring these forward. I'm just going to switch things round a minute so I can get to everything. We have got some new toppers out. These are also part of what we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to just show you those now. Just trying to make sure I don't knock over all my water in the process. And find a cutter that works, that would help. Right, so we are looking now at Easter. So this is our last live before Easter. The stuff will remain on our site, but please just remember, obviously, as we start to head towards Easter, the postman's probably going to start slowing down. Nothing would surprise me. So here we go. That is the first. We've got 2 Easter sheets. We've got 2 or 3? 2 this year. 2 Easter sheets this year. These are for cupcakes. So we're going to use some of these shortly. I'm just going to show you how to use them. Okay. And also, there we go. The little rabbit there as well. This is my favourite one, of course, because it's all cute and lovely. So we will be using that, and I think there's pink in there as well. You see, that's the drawer, I think. There's some pink involved, so therefore I like it. So we're going to have a go at making some cupcake toppers. So they need about a 2-inch round approximate circle in order to be able to do this. You can stick them straight onto buttercream, but I just think it looks a bit messy myself, and I think it looks so much nicer if you can do these in advance. Now this also would apply to, I'm going to hold these up so you can see it. This also will apply to the coronation stuff. So we've got a lot of coronation stuff that's now arrived onto the website. So you will see now there's the official stuff. So the official emblem is now available as a topper and also as a disc. In fact, I'll show you that now while I remember, because I've got them right next to me. So this is the official emblem this year. So we've now got them as 15 cupcake toppers, and we're also doing a big topper. Now this measures 6.5 inches. So if you're doing an 8-inch round cake, then this is what you're going to need to be able to do a topper. So I'm just take this up a little bit because it's quite close. This one here, again, you would cut out a circle and then you'll mount it on sugar paste and then put it onto your cake. So if you are doing any cakes for the coronation, this one is now available, and it's going to be the same as before. Last time I had, when we did, I say last time we had the Jubilee, we had lots of difficulties with getting these off the sheets. Now there are full instructions with all of this. You must keep them in that bag. We send them out to you until you're ready to use them. And if you have any difficulties removing them from the sheets, there are clear instructions on there as to what to do. If you are making toppers before Jubilee, I suggest you do. Please don't leave it till the last minute, and you can just make up little discs like I'm going to do now for the Easter ones. In fact, I've just spotted the other Easter one that we have, which how on earth I could have forgotten this, I don't know, but we have the little rabbits as well. Now these are in their 3rd year now because everybody loves the little rabbits. They are just so sweet. So we've got 2 rabbit designs this year, or 3. Is that a rabbit as well? They're all rabbits. Okay, so depending on your taste in rabbits, there's 3 different ones this year, so it's entirely up to you which rabbit you prefer, but we're going to use this one today. I'm going to show you what we're going to do in terms of the discs for getting them ready. So we're going to set up a treat box. So that's what we're aiming for today. So let's put that over there. So very straightforward, something you can do in advance. So we're going to just take hold of a little bit of white sugar paste, like so. And we're just going to... So Easter weekend, 7th, 8th, 9th of April is rapidly approaching. So if you want to order Easter things, please do it as soon as possible. That includes moulds, which I'll show you a few in a minute, cookie cutters, all of them. Please don't leave it till the last minute, because otherwise we're not going to get them done. So this is our last live before Easter. The next time I will be coming live will be the week after Easter, and we will be doing... what will we be doing? Oh, a big coronation special. So we'll be doing lots on treat boxes for coronation, for all the street parties and everything that people are going to be having. We will be doing lots of that. So we just take a 2-inch round cutter, like so. I think actually that might be a tiny bit bigger, but that's okay. Paintbrush. Let me find a paintbrush because I'm varying everything as I am doing my live. There we go. Bunnies are not just for Easter, absolutely. Do you know what? There's nothing on these apart from the other one that says Happy Easter. There's no reason why you can't use these all year round. You're absolutely right. So with these, you just peel them back like so. They should easily remove from the sheet. If they don't easily remove from the sheet, then you need to put them in the freezer to give them a chance to peel off the back. Sometimes they can get a little bit dry, or you can put them in the oven, which I prefer the freezer, it's quicker, but you can put them in the oven as well. But there you go, that's it, job done. And then if you just leave them to dry, so if you were doing the coronation ones, for example, you would then just leave them to dry, and then the week of the coronation, you'll just bake all of your cupcakes. And then very quickly, you can just literally do a swirl of buttercream and put them straight on top, and they will remain really nice and straight as well, which is also really nice. Just do these on sugar paste. You don't need to do these on modelling paste. Any that you don't use need to be stored back in those plastic bags that we give you. So it's very important everything remains airtight with this. That is absolutely key. So please don't leave these out of the bags, otherwise you will be running into difficulties. So I'm just going to leave that there. So I've shown you how to use that. So that applies across the board to the coronation stuff as well. Also with coronation, we have got the crowns. The crowns are back. So we had these for Jubilee. So they're back as well as the Union Jacks as well. So they're all back. It's exciting. Right, let me put all this away so I don't end up letting them dry out. You see, look, I'm following my own rules here. Please take note. There we go. Right, okay, let's have a little tidy up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at some of the cookie cutters. So I covered some new ones last week, so 2 weeks ago we went through the Easter teddy, which we will bring out at the end. We're going to have a look at this one today. This was one we brought out last year, but we brought it out very late, so this one did not come out very early. The only new cutter that we've got today is one that's listed separately, and that's listed as a mini Easter egg. So the mini Easter egg is going to be suitable for going on top of cupcakes. All right, so it is it's due in on Tuesday to us, and it's 4.5 centimeters. So we also have a set of Easter egg molds, or cutters I should say. So we have a set of these, a set of 3, and it's smaller than the smallest one of this. So the smallest one here, sorry, it's got trapped in the round one here, is 6 centimeters. We've got one coming that's going to be this size, that's going to be suitable for a cupcake, and it's been isolated away from the set. And that's purely because it is indicated as cupcakes. And again, we have, when we do print things, we do have to sometimes print things in sets, purely because it costs us less to get them made in sets than it does for us to get them made individually. So there is a mini one as well, which is about this big. It's 4.5 centimeters, and it will be suitable for cupcakes. Now I am going to do an Easter egg cookie shortly, so I will run through that as well, but there is a set of 3 and a mini separate as well, and it is listed as a mini. Anything listed as a mini is suitable for a cupcake, so just bear that in mind. So this is going to go towards our treat box this morning, so we're going to make up a nice treat box for Easter, so give you some ideas. We did a cake the other week. For those of you that joined me about three or 4 weeks ago, we did a nice Easter cake then. I've still got it. I don't think anyone's going to eat it now, but I will show you what that looks like. And also we've been using things like little pansy cookie cutters to make nice flowers and all sorts of bits and pieces. So I'm just juggling around because I have buried the royal icing under everything, so I'm just moving that so I can get to it. Right, so we're just going to take a little bit of water. There we go. Now we're just going to make a bit of a paste. So this is royal icing. There we go. But we just added water to it just to make a paste so that we can stick our sugar paste down. You can use things like piping gel, but the thing is with piping gel, it doesn't actually dry out, which means that potentially it's always going to be moving around. So I don't really like using piping gel for sticking things down. Thank you very much. I prefer to use royal icing. I was thinking what we've done with the cookies then. They're right next to me. I'm losing the plot. Right, here we go. So we've got our little rabbit and we've got our... So this comes as a set. So this is mini rabbit and mini carrot, okay? These come as a set. There is a large rabbit, same size, and a large carrot that are separate. And it's the printing thing again. It's what I've said before, is sometimes we cannot print these things separately. They have to be done together because of the way of the costs with everything. So these two come as a set, mini rabbit, mini carrot, or you can buy large rabbit, large carrot separately. Now, you go, well, why would I want that? Think about Christmas as well. When we did Christmas, we did a reindeer, and the reindeer likes carrots. Now you can see the thread here. So if you want to get dual use out of this one, then if you've got the carrot one or you're going to get the carrot one, you will be able to use it on cupcakes at Christmas as well. So this is a really nice one to be able to put with our reindeer. Nice box of reindeers and carrots. I think that sounds like a good plan to me. That will be happening. Right, let's just put a bit of icing sugar down. I'm just going to move, my camera is tipping that way. Let me turn it that way a bit. I feel like my arms are extended off the screen. There we go. So we'll just roll that out to start with. So we don't have to make these very complicated. They can be nice and straightforward to make. We have these on the website, which are large paint brushes, which are just really quite good for just painting your cookies. Bit of glue on there. Just treat it as a little bit of glue. Don't need to drown them. Just pop a little bit of glue on there. You can obviously do royal icing, but it's just so much quicker to do sugar paste on cookies because you can do them ever so quick then. With royal icing, you have to let them dry. So if you want to make some speedy cookies, then just use sugar paste. There we go. So we'll pop that onto there like so. Put that there. Right. I did draw out a picture of what I was meant to be doing. That doesn't mean anything, by the way. Okay. Right, we have got here, these are called, I think I've called them something like rabbit eyes or cookie eyes. They're 4mm black pearls, and they are really good for doing eyes. So they're nice and quick for doing eyes. Otherwise, sometimes, although a dotting tool actually is just as good these days, but if you wanted to do them with cookie eyes, you can just pop a little bit of glue on there and then just pop that down. So press down. And if you do it when the sugar paste is soft, you can embed them in there. Except that one's a different size to that one. I'm not having that because you'll have a funny eye. That's better. There we go, like so. So nothing too complicated. And then, what was I finding? Oh, I painted a little heart. That's what I did for his nose, didn't I? So let's get the cocoa butter back in again. Let's get paintbrush 1 out. See, once you've got your paints on the go, you'll be painting patchwork cutters and you'll be painting cookies, you'll be painting all sorts of things. Once that little tray is set up, you won't be able to stop. That's what I keep telling myself anyway. Right, okay. So let's do some eyelashes first. How about that? Okay, we'll give you some eyelashes. So we'll just take paintbrush 1 here and I'm just going to give him some big eyelashes. How about that? Turn that round this way. Very nice. And then we will give you a little, let's bring the camera down a little bit further again. There we go. You notice when my camera drops, it drops really quickly. So it's either too far away or too close at the moment. That seems to be the thing. So we'll do a little heart nose maybe, shall we? How about that? Something like that. There we go. Paint a little heart. Doesn't need to be complicated, does it? And then we'll come down here. You could always use a sprinkle on there instead if you wanted to use, rather than painting a heart. If painting a heart sort of sends you into meltdown, then why not just use a little sprinkle or something? Looking very cute. Right, let's put a little bit of white in the rabbit's eyes so he doesn't look like he's staring into space. I'll just take a little bit of white and just put a dot in his eye. That's better. Soften it up a little bit. A little dot on his nose as well. And then if we take a drier brush, no, that's wet. Let's find one that's dry. What's this one? So you just take a little bit of powder. I've just got here some ice pink sorbet. That's what I'm using at the moment. Just put a little bit of blush on him here and here. And then we'll paint his ears. I forgot about that. So again, we can just, well, we could do it in a different colour, I guess, if you particularly wanted to. But if not, you can just literally take your brush, be brave. Paint some ears in. I've got paintbrush, what is this? Paintbrush 1. Let's make that a little bit bigger. There you go. If you want to make it a bit darker, you can. You could even, if you wanted to, put a little bow tie on him down the bottom, so you know, like we did the bow tie earlier. So if you wanted to do that, you could put a little bow tie there maybe. Once that's dry, you could also take hold of your dotting tool. Now, we've talked about these. We've had lots of these. People buy these because they're so brilliant. Little tiny ball at the end of that we use to do circles, which is really good. That's what we like it for. And again, you can pop that into your paint. And if you wanted to do some little kind of white spots maybe inside of his ears, you could do that. So just... It is easier than doing it with a paintbrush. If you do it with a paintbrush, you just don't get completely round circles. Now, the reason I didn't do it on his eyes is because his eyes are quite sort of slippy, because they are actually cookies. They're not cookies, they're cookie eyes, you know, sprinkles, and the likelihood is they will probably just slide off. So it's just as easy for me to do that bit with a paintbrush, but you get the idea anyway with that. So that's the little mini rabbit. So don't forget there's a mini and there's also a large, and then the matching carrot, obviously. I have made some orange sugar paste. Oh, we could give you some whiskers actually. Why don't we do that? That would be fun. Let's do that. Okay, let's do whiskers, but what we'll do is we won't do them in black, we'll do them in grey, because if we do them in black they might be too strong. So we'll go dark or mid-grey. I'll either ruin it now, it will be brilliant, one or the other. I think we need whiskers, so we're definitely having whiskers. Yes, we are. Okay, so we will. There you go, right up on the tip of your brush. I always find it easier to turn it round when I'm doing the other side. There you go. Ah, that's better. He's got whiskers now. Perfect. Let me lift that up so you can see that. There he is. Very sweet. Yes, you could do Alice in Wonderland. Yes, you could do, I don't know, you could do any colour rabbit. So it doesn't have to be for Easter. It can be anything, can't it? So if you've got a little party, maybe with someone likes animals, having a little petting zoo or something along those lines, or just a really sweet little spring gift box, you know, like these treat boxes we've been doing, you could pop a little rabbit in there, can't you? Right, let's have a go with the carrot. So I've just got some orange paste here. I didn't make it too strong. I made it kind of pastel-y type colours. I was trying not to make it stand out from the rest of the box. When I put the box together at the end, you'll see what I mean. So I'm just going to take this and just put some bit of royal icing on there as well. I'm actually going to do the green separate, but I've done it now anyway. So I just take hold of the carrot, press down. Right, I should have put it on a, there we go, just press that down there, flip it out. Cutting wheel. We'll just remove that bit there. And we'll just tip that camera forward again. Okay, and then we can put that on there like so. And then we'd like to put some markings on this carrot. So if we take hold of like a Dresden tool or something, we can just very carefully just bring it down the side here like so, make it look a bit more realistic. That's it, nice and simple, nothing too complicated. And then I did make some green for the back. Now the green you can cut out if you want to, or to be honest with you, you can near enough manipulate the shape. You just make a sort of, put a bit on there like that and just squish it around. And then if you take hold of the Dresden tool again on the sharper end, and then just, I think it looks nice if it's a little bit thicker because it sort of stands up from the carrot. Like that. So you don't really need to use the end of it, but you get the idea there like that. See, that's quite pretty, isn't it? So there we go. That's nice and straightforward. You could do the carrot top with royal icing as well if you wanted to. You don't have to do it like this. If you wanted to take nozzle 18, for example, Wilton 18, that always pipes quite a nice topper there. I'm getting a bit carried away now, so I need to stop. But there you go. So that's how to do the carrot. So that's nice and easy and straightforward. So there you go. So that is that set there. That is the mini rabbit, mini carrot. Remembering, of course, there is a large rabbit and a large carrot. So just be careful which ones you're ordering. These ones are more cupcake size. They will fit onto cupcakes. Let me bring a cupcake in so you'll see them. It will sit on there just like that. So if you do want to put them onto cupcakes, you can. That will be fine. The other one we've had, I'm going to just do this one quickly because we've had this one on offer. This is actually a discontinued one, and that's our tulip. Now the reason it's discontinued is because I'm just going to create a slightly different design. So these are the last tulips now that we've got in stock. I think there's only about 10 left. So if you'd like a tulip cutter before I cull it, we'll be coming back with uber numbers of tulips next year if I end up at Kugenhof in Amsterdam, and I've gone completely mad and I've seen enough tulips to last a lifetime. We will be going full on tulips. So let me just show you how this works. Again, very simple. I've gone for yellow this time. Don't think I've mixed it very well, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. There we go. In fact, there are some quite nice stripy tulips, so that would be allowed, wouldn't it? I'll just put a little bit more icing sugar on there, stop it sticking. So we're going to take hold of our cutter, pop it onto there, press down. Yeah, carrot cutter for carrot cake, like that idea, very good. Then I'm just going to cut the bottom of this off like that. And pop that on there like so. So this is a bargain, this cutter. It's something like, I think it's £1.75 or £1.95. So if you want a cheap cutter while stocks last, then go and grab yourself the tulip one quickly before they sell out, because that will be it. Once they're gone, we will be switching over to a different design, which I hasten to add I haven't done yet, so it'll probably be next year now. And then we can do a base. So if you want to do, let me go back to this, if you want to make a few more sort of indentations with the tulip, you can just follow it round. Now I did a whole cake on this on YouTube, so if you want to actually sort of do these as stand-up cookies, I did a stand-up basket which contained the rabbit and the tulip. You will find them on my YouTube channel, which is at Tracey Mann Cakes, and you will see there is a whole project on there on how to do them. So £1.50, thank you. The tulip's £1.50, that's a bargain. And that's because it's a discontinued line. So if you do want it, you need to be quick, because I'm not getting any more printed now. That is it for this one. Okay. So don't complain to me if it's not there when you go to get it, all right? Oh, bit of a blackboard moment then. There we go, just cut that bottom piece out there. Oh, that's very, the green is a bit sticky this morning, so we'll come under there. And then we'll just pop that under there like so. And again, you can mark it again. Am I still on screen? Yes, I'm a bit further forward than I need to be. And you can just add in your leaves. Okay. Like so. You get the idea anyway. So that's the tulip one, okay? You could also turn that into a sea turtle. I'm not quite sure how that works. I'm going to have to think about that one. I'm not too sure how that works. Somebody's obviously got an idea there, but there you go. So this is the discontinued line for tulips. So if you do want it, the other one that's discontinued is swimsuits. So if you do want to get hold of that one as well before it sells out, because it will be going, that's it. Once it's gone, I'm not reprinting those ones. Let's have a look at the Easter egg, because I have got some ideas for this. Now, we have got lots of chocolate moulds, which we do discuss now and again, but we are going to have a look at two specific ones today. So I'm just trying to juggle with the moulds themselves. So we have this one here, which is an Easter egg lollipop mould. So you can see here that I've made a little Easter egg there on a lollipop. So you get 7 cavities on this particular mould. So this one is Easter eggs. And then we have this adorable one, which is the mini Easter egg toppers. We're going to use one of these, we're going to paint one of these, and we're going to put it on top of that Easter egg cookie. So there are 2 rabbits, a basket, and a little duck. So we're going to go for we're going to try anyway and go for the, if I can get it out, I didn't actually practice getting this one out. We're going to go for the little rabbit that sat in the watering can. It's got very tiny detail there. If I hold it up really close to the camera, you'll be able to see what it's like. So there you go, it's a nice tiny little one there, and we're going to paint that and we're going to mount it onto that cookie. You could also use patchwork cutters for these, so if you have got patchwork cutters, For example, the daffodil, if you wanted to cover this with sugar paste, press in a patchwork cutter and paint some Easter cookies. Now I looked online and there are so many different designed painted cookies that, I mean, the world is your oyster. Blossom leaf cookie cutter, sorry, blossom leaf patchwork cutter would also work really well with this. So if you wanted to have a go at doing it with that, you could. And you can paint them and put whatever colour sugar paste you want on there. There's just so many options, so it's entirely up to you. But this is part of the triple set, so this is the middle one. I'm going to just paint that on there like so. There's a larger one and there is a smaller one as well. There we go. And don't forget what I said earlier, the mini one is for the cupcakes and that is the new one and it's separate. So don't get carried away and think the mini set, oh, the set of 3 has got the mini one in it, because it hasn't. All right, the mini one is for cupcakes. So that goes on there like so. Put that on there as my background. Move that out of the way. Let's move these little bits and pieces over there. There we go. Make some space. Okay, let's bring that over there. And what we'll do is we'll paint this. Now it's very tiny, so I'm going to do my very best that you can see as much as you can. I'm going to bring the camera down as low as possible without hopefully interfering too much with me actually painting, but we'll see how we go. It's more the camera than anything else, whether it will stay focused, but we'll give it a go. So we will do a little, what should we do? A little, let's do a little grey watering can, shall we? So we'll just keep it. So this is white chocolate. So because it's white chocolate, in order to be able to paint it, I need to be painting with cocoa butter. I cannot do this with gel. I cannot do this with paste. I need to be using cocoa butter, because if I don't, then I will find that it will all paint up really lovely and then someone will touch it and the whole lot will fall off. So you do need to put something that's going to fix onto, so I'm going to make that a bit darker. Something that's going to fix onto the chocolate, okay? So you need cocoa butter for painting chocolate items. So if you do make up lots of little chocolate decorations, then you can use cocoa butter. Is that holding just about? And there's the top of the watering can there. Just there by the flowers. These are rabbit satin, some flowers, I think. Kelly painted these. Now when you go to the website, the picture shows the 4 items painted very clearly. So if you want to see them painted properly by Kelly, not me, then have a look on the website and you will see the images from that mould, and you get a lot of indents for that mould. How many is it? It's quite a lot, isn't it? It's 4 of each design. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 5. 5 fours are 20. Yes, 20 little toppers, I guess. And you don't have to paint them if you don't want to, but they could also work really well for like a, if you do like an Easter egg hunt, something like that, you could always put these inside those little eggs. Do you know what I mean? Those little plastic eggs that you used to, well, my mum used to have them. She probably still has got them. And you could put them inside of those little treats, couldn't you? Go, we can just about see them. Let's try and clean my brush up a bit. So he's in a very rustic looking, watering can. That's okay. And then what we'll do is we'll paint some of these flowers. We'll brighten it up a little bit now. So we'll paint some of these maybe blue. Again, it's all mapped out for you. I'm not. There's one. I think there's a little tulip there as well by the looks, so we'll do this one blue as well. But you could paint these all sorts of different colours, be entirely up to you really. There's something else behind there, so we'll do that in a different colour. Let's change colour, shall we? So we could go to, let's go to yellow. Put a bit of white in there so it's not too dark. And there's definitely a tulip there, so we'll stick that, we'll make that yellow, because then that will go with our yellow tulip from earlier. And then we'll do a pink, there's a pink flower there. I'll put a pink one in there. go, it's coming on really nicely. And then I'm just going to make the middle of this pink just to sort of save a bit of time, really. Save me having to switch colours again. Perhaps we'll do that one blue as well in the centre there. There we go. I'm going to make that watering can a bit darker. I've decided it needs to be darker. Make it stand out a bit more. Make the flowers stand out a bit more anyway. I started off rustic and have gone dark. But I can paint over it, you see, so that's allowed. There we go, that's better. You can always do it green, can't you? Nice dramatic green watering can. So you can change it, or you can do any of those like sort of very florally type painted ones. You can do that as well. You can do all sorts of things. Let's take that out. So this is called Easter egg toppers or something like that, and it's a chocolate mould. And as I say, the picture shows all 4 designs painted beautifully by the lovely Kelly. I'm just going to paint the bottom of it as well because that's going to stand out on my cookie otherwise. Put that under there. You can't see this side at the moment, but I don't want to be able to see it. So there we go. Getting there. It's very tiny. And I'm going to make sure my brush is cleaned up. I'm just wondering if my candle... No, my candle is okay. It felt like it had gone out then. And then we'll make the rabbit white. So we'll just go over it with some white. Just dab it on. So he kind of matches the other rabbit, I guess. Yeah, they're all white today, so that's okay. I've got a white biscuit, a white one in a little jar. And then we've got the topper as well. So he's morphing around the treat box. He started off as a chocolate, then he turned into a biscuit, and then he's ended up as a cake topper. So there you go. Like so. So we just don't need to worry too much about detail because the chocolate is all marked anyway, so we'll just come back and do that in a second. Just get the paint down first. Usually you get fairly good coverage first time round, but if you don't, you can go back and do it again. Like so. And then we'll take hold of, where are we? You can always put some little spots on your watering can if you want to soften it up a little bit with your dotting tool. So they're very detailed, these little toppers, but they're very sweet. And they'll probably take you just the same amount of time as probably painting a patchwork cutter on there. So I think time-wise, they're probably very, very similar. There we go. Right. Okay, let's do his eyes. So we'll just keep his eyes fairly straightforward. We'll keep them the same as the others. So we'll go black. We'll just put a little... And the same on this one. Let's turn it round. A tiny bit more. Make sure I get that in. There's nothing worse than painting faces on a live, I can assure you. It's like my worst nightmare, quite honestly. And we better give him a pink nose because the others have all got pink noses, haven't they? So there we go. I'll wait for that to dry and then we can put, let's put a little bit of pink in his ear. We can then add his, he's tiny, but he's very sweet. I can add a little bit of white into his eyes as soon as that black has dried, but I'm just going to put a tiny bit more black in there. There we go. So while that's settling down, we can stick him on to the cookie. So if you want to add a chocolate decoration to a cookie, for example, then all you need to do is just put a little bit of royal icing or chocolate, doesn't matter, onto the cookie and then just pop it on like so. So there you go, you've got a cookie and a chocolate all in one then. That sounds like a good deal to me. And then if you wanted to add other things like more patchwork cutters, you know, if you want to put on a little flower or something, then you can always, or a butterfly or whatever it is that you like the look of, you can add those in as well. It's entirely up to you. Then I'll just put a little tiny speck of white in his eye, and it will be tiny because there's only, there he is. Then he looks a bit better, you see. Just put in, so I've gone from having white to black in the same paintbrush. I don't want to end up painting in the wrong colour. Let's go back down that side there. And then if you want to go round with some more dots, because I happen to be completely obsessed with them, make them a bit bigger, you can turn around and use this ball tool here. Again, I'm just checking it hasn't got another colour on it. And you could add those in as well. So I'm running out of colour a little bit. Get the idea, don't you? Well, I hope you do anyway. Oh, nearly there, over the top. So I know I'm very close to the camera there. There we go. So you can do something like that. Let me go and bring it up to the camera. There we go. Okay. So that's using the Easter egg cookie cutters. So the sets of 3. And then I've used the Easter cake topper mould, which again contains 20 cavities. So there's lots of different ways that you could paint these. So there is, I'll show you some of the other ones actually while I've got them out. So there's a little bunny there. I'll hold that there. It's a bunny there holding a carrot. So again, they're all the same size. There is also, so I just get them out because I haven't got them out for the thing yet. There's also a little basket of flowers there, if you can see that. And there is a little duck there as well. So there's lots of different ones that you could use. And they will also fit the smaller one. So if you wanted to do a slightly smaller one, remembering this is the mini one of the set. So that's, sorry, not mini, that is the small, medium, large. That's medium, large, and then there's a mini. All right, be careful you don't get confused. All right, so the mini one is for the cupcakes and that's separate from the triple set. All right, so there we go. So they're nice and sweet, aren't they? Right, we've got one more thing to paint and then we're going to put everything together in a very nice treat box, which sounds like a good idea to me, I think. So we've got one more lolly that we're going to paint. So this is from the Easter egg mould. I'm going to put you there for the moment. So this is from the Easter lollipop moulds. So we've got a few of these left now. So if you would like to have a go at these, we have got them. So we'll go with Petal Blue. I don't actually know if I need this as well, but I'm going to do it. I need to put some more cocoa butter down. I don't think I've actually run out of cocoa butter. I think actually it's just got melted. So this has lots of different lines on it, so you can literally just pick the lines that you want to do. It's a bit, I always think of pottery painting when I come to things like this because you are just following the lines. It's very simple, very straightforward. So we'll do another one there, maybe the same colour. So this is Petal Blue. This is also inside the cocoa butter kit. So if you want a cocoa butter painting kit, you'll find that in there as well. Remembering, of course, this is chocolate, so we have to use cocoa butter, okay? There is no alternative. It is the way it has to be done, okay? And then we'll do another one at the bottom here. Let's see, so we do that one. Oops, it's gone a bit. If it starts going streaky, it's because you've got too much cocoa butter in there, so just go back and just put in some more dust and then you'll be fine. And that. And then across there. So it doesn't have to be complicated particularly. I'm a big fan of blue. Anything blue. My dress is blue today. Just run the brush across it, let the brush do the work for you really, like so. You could just leave it like that. You don't have to paint the whole thing if you don't want to. If you're thinking, yeah, I'm quite happy to see a bit of chocolate on there, leave it as is. You don't have to add more and more, but it gets quite addictive once you get started. You can't stop, so we'll do a bit of yellow now. Do a bit of yellow across here as well. It's just caught the blue there, so it's gone a tiny bit green. That's all right. And then let's do yellow in that bit there. Something like that. I was going to put green in this, but I think it might throw my symmetry off a bit now. I might have to stick with blue. Yes, I think I will. Mind you, that's gone green. Okay, we'll do blue. Doesn't matter. You get the idea, but you could paint lots of different pastel-y type colours. So if you wanted to do sort of pinks and mint green, that's a nice colour. Actually, mint green from gooseberry green works really well. So if you get gooseberry green colour and then pale that down, that's the closest colour to leaf green, which is the colour splash green that I'm using for absolutely everything these days. That's the closest colour in dusting colour is gooseberry green. So moss green is also quite a nice greeny colour, but spring green is very bright, vibrant. Spring green is the most kind of bright one of the whole thing. Maybe we will paint those green, why not? We're going to go green now. We're going to go rogue a bit here now. I'm going to paint these green. Anyway, this is a very nice activity if you wanted to sit and do this at home. If you've got kids coming up for Easter holidays, that's rapidly approaching. Little morning painting Easter eggs. So if you wanted to have a go at something like this, it's nice and straightforward to do. There you go. It's not too difficult, is it? It's nice and easy to do. Like that. You can play around with your own colours and decide exactly what it is that you want to do. Right, I'm going to clear the decks so I can get my treat box in here and we can have a little look at building a treat box for Easter. So I've got various other bits and pieces. Before I go too much further, I'm going to just bring in the other rabbit. So there's the other rabbit that we've got, just so we're not confused here. So we have two rabbit cookie cutters. We have a large and a small in this one, and we have this one on its own, and this one is only available in one size. So this one is, you can only find it on there as Cute Bunny or something, whatever it is I've listed it as, and you will see that listed on the website. Right, let me find my buttercream. I'm going to move that out of the way. The camera's going to go up. Bear with me. There we go. Give me a little bit of space. Pop that over there for a minute. Move all our bits and pieces around so you can see what we've been doing. Put our lolly there. Okay, so I mixed up some buttercream with some leaf green in it, Colour Splash leaf green, just to pipe on top of the cupcake, so nothing too complicated there. I did mix it up before I went live. That doesn't really mean anything in this time of year because it's the weather's so up and down. Sometimes it sets and sometimes it doesn't. It's not too bad. So I didn't load up my bags in advance because otherwise I might not be able to get the buttercream through the bag. So I'm going to use nozzle 1M. So we're going to pop that into the bag. Yes, that did go in. I thought it went down the side then. Put that in there like so. Give it a twist so it comes right to the end. There it is. Right, we've got two cupcakes, one of which I'm going to have to cut the top off because it's obviously gone a bit mad in the oven there. That one definitely went too far. So I'm just going to turn that and just chop the top off there. I'm going to be very good and put that in the bin because I'm trying not to eat sugar before Easter. You try having my job, I tell you, you won't stand a chance, a nightmare. Right, going to put some buttercream on there, just so in case I miss any of the edges. So I've gone for a soft version of this. I haven't done anything too harsh here. Okay, that's one. Right, let's do the other one. So the only reason we do this is to stop the cupcakes drying out, okay? That's it, nothing too complicated. There's no hidden agenda here. Right, there we go. So let's move that out of the way. Bring that over. Right, so the first one, so I'm going to just take hold of my bag. Okay, like so. And then we'll do the same. There's no mini eggs in here today. Absolutely not. Right, I'm going to just grab a bit more icing. I thought I'd got enough in my bag. Hopefully I have. I've obviously got this down to the wire today. Mini eggs are my favourite, don't tell anybody. Right. Okay, we'll do this one as well. So we just... There we go. Like so, and then we'll take one of these toppers and we'll pop that on there like that. That's what we made earlier. If anybody is tuning in now and going, what is that? That's what we made earlier today. And then the other one is we're going to use the Easter bear. So this is the new cookie cutter that I introduced 2 weeks ago, which you all obviously loved because you all went mad and got them. So this is the Easter bear and the mini Easter bear. So this is from these cookie cutters here. We have got them separately. So this is the mini one, and the mini one sits on top of the cupcake. So we're going to pop you on there like so. The other one we're going to put inside the box, but that is the cookie that fits on top of the cupcakes. I like to prove that my things actually do work. And then you can see it like that. Okay, so let's get the treat box in, and then we're going to have a little play around making ourselves a nice treat box. So we'll move that out of the way. So this will be our Easter themed one. There we go. So inside my box here, I'll just tip it forward a bit. There we go. So inside my box here, these are the treat boxes that we have on our website. They are in packs of 2. Take that out. They are in packs of 2. And you can leave these bits out. So if you don't want to put cupcakes in, you can leave that bit out, or obviously you can put it in and you can have cupcakes in here as well. So I've obviously decided to have cupcakes in there today. So I'm going to put my first one in there. I'm just going to twist it around a tiny bit. There we go. Actually, I'm going to twist you around, it's easier. And then I'm going to put this one in there like that. So if you wanted a mixed box of cupcakes, then you could have some mixed box of cookies and cupcakes, then you can do these with these treat boxes. This is the shredded paper that we've got on our site as well. So this is white shredded paper. Now I did plan all this out, so in theory this should work. So I'm going to put my large bear there. So my large Easter bear is going to go up in that corner there. My Easter chick, so this is my other cookie cutter that we introduced a week ago. So that was... he's got a squash nose now anyway. That's the Easter chick with the squash nose. He's another one, so we're going to pop him down here like so. And then I've got my little, there he is. I was going to put my rabbit in there like that with his carrot like so. I was thinking, what am I doing? Yes, Easter. I'm going to put my Easter egg in up there. Or if you don't want to put an Easter egg in, you can always take that out. And you can always replace it with the tulip. So you could swap the teddy and the tulip over. So you see, this is where I start playing. This is where things start getting dangerous, because I start to mix things up. I mean, an Easter egg is typically more Easter-esque. So you could put that over there. I was just splitting these two up really, so you can move things around. Then I start going, I prefer it this way round. I can hear my head going here. It's like, what about this? What about this? You know, and it starts getting confusing. Alternatively, you can, of course, if you haven't got that mould there and you would prefer to use the rabbit, you could put the new rabbit in there instead. Or you could use something like the pansies. So if you wanted to put little pansies in there, or you can take hold of your little chocolate lolly and you can just pop that in there as well, so you've got a slight sort of nod towards chocolate as well. If you fancy doing something along those lines, you can add a real mix in here to get quite a nice sort of Easter theme without it being too sort of like, well, you know, something a bit different. Oh, where's I going to put the let me find the other one I was looking for. Right, is that the one I wanted? Yes, yes. So you could also, if you didn't want to put the lolly in, you could take that out and you could put in the daffodil. So because you've got lots of gaps, and I've said this many times before, if you're doing a cookie box, you need large and you need small, because if you try and do everything big, you're not going to get them all in. It's so important that you actually have a complete mixture of cookie sizes in order to be able to get them all into the treat box. Otherwise, you're going to be really irritated with yourself when you've ended up with a treat box and you can't get everything in, because they are all just quite sort of big. So it is important that you do switch things around, which I'm still switching things around. And I'm also thinking I could try this. So what I might do after this live is I might try a few different sort of treat box combinations, and I'll take some pictures and then you can decide which ones or how you would do it and see what you're talking about. So again, you can see lots of other different ways of kind of doing things. So there you are. That is my treat box of the day. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, we did a cake in a box. For those of you that watched 2 or 3 weeks ago, I've still got it. So I'm going to show you my cake in a box. Okay, so that was my cake in a box idea. So that's using the treat boxes again, but I've actually put a cake inside of it here, covered it with a piece of sugar paste, and then we use the Happy Easter topper, which I put on there, and then I use the mini daffodil cookies, mini eggs, and my little rabbit on there as well. So we made a really nice cake a couple of weeks ago. So if you do fancy that, the lids that go on top of these are clear. So when you put the lid on, you'll then be handing over a box where everyone can actually see exactly what it is that you've got in there. So it's quite a nice idea, these boxes, because again, you can use them for just cookies and cupcakes, or a cake. So you've got several different options to use along that lines. We've also used these little tiny mother of pearl flowers, and then also some white sprinkles in there as well. You can see some little white sprinkles amongst that. Those are Kelly's white sprinkles. Okay, right, I'm just moving things around now just to double check I've not missed anything, but I will put pictures up online anyway, so you will be able to see them. There we go, I am back. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me this morning. For those of you that just started to watch, if you've missed the start, you will be able to watch it from the beginning once I go off. So once this is finished, you will be able to go back and watch it either here or on my YouTube channel as well, which is at Tracey Mann Cake. So either of those two places. We talked this morning about the new cake class that's out, which is the cartoon cake. There it is, which is available on the Cake School from today. It's £20 for the class, or it is available to Gold and Sugarcraft members. So if you are a Gold or Sugarcraft monthly member, you already have the class there waiting for you. If you would like to buy the class and keep it, then you will be able to do just do that instead. So it's entirely up to you. We have got a David Austin Rose cupcake bouquet coming in 2 weeks' time. And then 2 weeks after that, we have got this 2-tier floral cake coming, which will be part of the membership, but also for you to buy as well. We have got royal icing. There we go. There's royal icing. So we have a royal icing class that's available. This is actually an order that went out yesterday for somebody. So I'm showing you an example of the kind of piping that I teach online. So if you do fancy having a go at doing some piping with royal icing, then there is a course on the Cake School to teach you how to do that. It's one of my most favourite things to do. I love piping with royal icing. I find it very therapeutic. I can just sit there and pipe away in my own little world. So if you fancy having a go at that, then do please pop across and have a look at that. Right, I'm back again. We looked at Patchwork Cutters as well. So a couple of weeks ago, I did do the teddy plaque. I showed you how to put it onto a sugar paste plaque. Then I said I was going to paint it, which I then went ahead and did when I did that on my YouTube channel, and I also did it on Patchwork Cutters. So I have copied the video onto YouTube, so you can go back and watch that. So that's the teddy plaque. So if anybody bought the teddy plaque 2 weeks ago, then you've now got a video available for you to learn how to paint it. Likewise, if you are inspired by it and fancy having a go, then it is available as well. This morning I used, which seems a long time ago now, I did paint the little teddy bear from the Teddy Bears Picnic set on the tiny little plaque here. There we go, that's a little teddy bear from Teddy Bear's Picnic. So that I painted as well this morning, remembering of course that Teddy Bear's Picnic is a different set from Teddy Bear's plaque, okay? Don't get confused between the two. The plaque is a set piece, the picnic is lots of little pieces that you can kind of put together. Then I went on and we have been painting and doing various things for these treat boxes for Easter. So we've done lots of Easter cookies today. We've talked about the little new mini cupcake top one that you can use to put on top of cupcakes. It is listed on its own. It's called Mini Easter Cupcake Topper. It's a little mini Easter egg. And then we've still got the teddy with the Easter eggs and the little mini with the Easter eggs, and that is a limited edition. So once they're gone, that will be it. We also looked at, we've got 3 Easter cupcake toppers this year as well. We've got the rabbit. We have got, what have we got? We've got the rabbit. We've got 3 rabbits. They're all rabbits. We've gone mad this year. They're all rabbits. Anyway, we've got 3 Easter toppers that are online available now as well. And to let you know now that all the coronation stuff is now available online. So all of it is now there. That's the Jubilee Sprinkles, the Crown, Imperial Crown Cookie Cutter, which we've had more printed, the Union Jack Cookie Cutter, and all of the printouts that you'll need for Jubilee if you're having a tea party for, not Jubilee, coronation. I keep saying Jubilee, it's coronation. If you are having any parties for coronation, then you will be able to get all those bits and pieces as well. Thank you, Nikki, for your help this morning. Thank you very much. Nikki is my little online PA, does all my links for me. She's excellent. So thank you, Nikki, for that. I do appreciate your help. It's really helpful. Obviously, without Kelly now, I am here all on my own. So I won't be here next week, but I will. And the following week is Easter, so I will be back after that. So it's a 2-week break now. A reminder to the Gold members, anyone who's on Gold membership, I will be live on Tuesday evening on 6:30 on your group. So please make sure that if you want to find out about how to paint trees, that you tune in. I'm laughing because they've all been struggling with their trees, so we will be looking at trees. So if anybody would like to join us for that, then do sign up for Gold membership and you get extra lives and me going around weddings and all sorts of bits and pieces. So lots of interesting things going on there. Thank you all very much.